Hello and welcome to Arrival Live's first ever virtual World Day of Remembrance for Road Traffic Victims 2020. Ezekiel, proud to be your host for another year. Now COVID has transformed our annual walk and run into a virtual commemoration. This year's global theme is based on these pillars: remember, support, act. In our Remember segment, we have been sharing the personal stories of the families of victims of road traffic accidents on social media leading up to today. We hope these stories will touch you and inspire changed attitudes and behaviors on our nation's roads. We also hear from our partners, sponsors, and stakeholders as we create safer roads for drivers, pedestrians, and all other road users. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you the President of Arrival Live, Mrs. Sharon Inglefield, who has dedicated her life's work to drive home the message of road safety and better road practices in TNT, with the ultimate aim of reducing road deaths and accidents to zero.
Arrival Life welcomes you to our first virtual event, the United Nations World Day of Remembrance for Road Traffic Victims. We want all the families who have lost loved ones to know that we remember you. We are here to support you. We are here to advocate for your support and care. We are here to advocate for safer drivers, safer roads, and safer vehicles in memory of the victims, our loved ones who have been injured and who have died on our nation's roads. Please stay in touch with us. Please reach out to us at Arrival Live. We thank all the families who took an active part in sharing this year. We know how painful this can be. However, sharing your story does help others. Sharing your story also sometimes helps you to heal. We also remember all the first responders who are also traumatized by the preventable crashes every year. Our police, our fire personnel, our ambulance personnel, doctors and nurses. During this time, most especially, we do hope that you are provided with the equipment and training you need to save lives. As a road safety NGO, Arrival Life continues to act in the best interests of all road users. Please have faith, do not give up hope, and please continue to support us. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon, for your thought-provoking words. And now, we remember. and gentlemen, after looking at that Remember segment, I'm pretty sure many of you may have shed a tear or two. To think of the loved ones that you have next to you right now, that if they were in a situation like these families had to go through, your loved ones may not have come home. It goes to show the importance of us being road safe. That's why we're here at Arrive Alive, having this event this year, and we'll have it every year to ensure that the memories of those we've lost are not forgotten, and the pain that the families have felt and continue to feel can be a lesson to others that, hey, that's not the road that we want to go down. So at this time, to all our viewers out there, we would like you to join us in a minute of silence as you light your candles, as we remember those that we've lost on the roadways of TNT. As we move on to the second pillar of our theme, I would like to introduce the support segment, where we welcome our partners, stakeholders, and sponsors to share their thoughts. We welcome the president of BHP, Mr. Vincent Pereira, to share his thoughts. Following him would be our mental health segment. And then the Honorable Minister of Works and Transport, Mr. Rohan Sinanan, will share his message.
Today is the United Nations Annual Day of Remembrance 2020. Normally, of course, we would have been gathered to recognize the significance of this day, the significance of remembering those lost to road accidents. However, in our current situation, of course, we are unable to gather, but that won't stop us. I am thrilled that we are finding a way to recognize this occasion and to do so virtually. My company, BHP Trinidad and Tobago, has been involved with Arrive Alive and its founder, Sharon Ingerfield, for over 8 years now, working with all stakeholders to implement measures which keep us all safe on the road. We are definitely seeing impacts, positive impacts of our efforts. However, we cannot rest. One road injury, one road death is one too much. We must keep up our efforts until that number reaches 0. This year's Day of Remembrance is themed around 3 words: remember, support, act. Let me say a few words about each one of those. Firstly, remember. Over the past week, Arrive Alive has been streaming online a series of vignettes where families of victims have shared their experiences. It's heart-wrenching. Remembering the ones we have lost should serve to compel us all to declare that that terrible impact, that terrible event has not been in vain. We must renew our commitment, every one of us, to do the right things on the road all the time, to be exemplars as we collectively say no to road crime. Secondly, support. Again, in the last few weeks leading up to this event today, Arrive Alive has also been acknowledging and showing appreciation to citizens throughout Trinidad and Tobago who are themselves making a positive impact on our collective road safety efforts. While as one of the major sponsors of Arrive Alive, we are grateful to be appreciated. We are part of this not for the recognition, but to help lead the action that is necessary to stamp out the kinds of behavior on our roads which cause sadness and loss. This is a space of personal choice. Your choice, my choice. Hopefully, we will all make the right choice. Each one of us committing to obey all of our road regulations at all times. Thirdly, act. We must simply take that first step. And we must be united in purpose. There is an old African proverb that states, if you want to go fast, if you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. We have far to go, but we must start. It is in that context that I must acknowledge the work of so many. Arrive Alive, the police service, the Ministry of Works and Transport, first responders, the family support networks, and the vast numbers of persons every day who by their lawful actions say no to road crimes. It is my hope that we can continue to work together to seek support, to lend a helping hand when it's needed, to do everything that we can until we reach that most reachable goal of zero. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much, and I wish you all a safe day.
Good day. My name is Wendell De Leon. I'm a behavior change therapist. In support of Arrive Alive, I am here to share with you a few words as they commemorate the UNWHO World Day of Remembrance for road traffic victims. Anniversaries are difficult times, especially when it's the anniversary of a loss or passing of a loved one. We remember those that have not been there, and it can be very traumatic at times, reliving particularly the trauma of such a loss, with the pictures that may be seen, the things that we may go over to reflect on it, and of course the person that is missing from your presence. It is a hard time for the survivors, and I just want that as we go through our daily activities to urge persons to be cautious in how you use the nation roadways, because you may feel that it is the end sometimes when the accident happens and the person loses their life and that's it, you know. Years pass and we don't think about it, but we do. For the person who experienced that loss, there's never a moment they forget. They constantly live with it. And we have to ask the question, is it easy to live with such a trauma? And it's not. It is sometimes painful nights. You can be awoken by that memory, reflecting on it, and having to cry yourself to sleep again. And few people may know that, because some of the things that we do it sometimes in the closet and hide about it, because we don't want people to feel that after so many years we are still grieving. I'm just saying to you, it is your experience, and if you wish to grieve and if you wish to go through that and it takes time, then take time. You know, don't let anybody cheat you from that or take that from you. At some point you will get to the place where you can take it up at your own will and put it down whenever you're ready. But it's a message to people out there, the ones who are alive. Take your time on the nation roadway. Take your time where you have to go. make sure that, that not only do you get there in one piece, but you get there alive, because there are other people who depend on you to do that. There's a responsibility that comes with that. And as a therapist dealing with trauma, over the years, I can tell you it is tremendously painful for the people who have to endure it. They have children who would have to grow up without parents, or parents who have to deal with the guilt that they have contributed to the loss of their child or their loved one because they were driving. And that is not an easy experience. Some of them become addicts because they try to numb the pain and they try to cope with the challenges that they face on a daily basis. That is difficult for them to be normal again. It's a new normal for them. And that new normal is, how do I live with that person not being there, especially if I was the one responsible for that person passing? And then how do you deal with that? That's years of therapy. And even so, it is just sometimes to help you to stabilize the emotional bleeding that you would continue to experience. So I just want to really send a resounding message to all those persons who know that they usually try to hustle on the nation roadway to get from point A to point B. And sometimes they're not even conscious of the risk that they're taking. You might also be responsible for somebody else's, some other family loss. And when that happens, no amount of sorry could help them to get that person back. No amount of apology, and you have to live with that as well. And so you're not only a survivor, but you're a survivor with guilt. Please, be cautious, be responsible. Have a beautiful evening.
I am pleased once again to partner with Arrive Alive on this solemn World Day of Remembrance for Road Traffic Victims. Today's observances calls upon us all to remember, support, and act. We need to remember the many lives lost and injured on road crashes, as well as offer support to their families. We also need to pay tribute to the first responders who deal with the aftermath of traumatic road deaths, and to raise awareness regarding the importance of road safety so that the streets, highways, and sidewalks can become safer space to travel. The World Health Organization reports that globally every 24 seconds, the world loses another individual to road traffic violence. This means that from the duration of my short address to you, almost 13 people would have died to a serious road accident. A parent, a sibling, a son, daughter, somebody's loved one. What is even more regrettable is the fact that most of these tragedies could have been avoided because a careless driver made a choice to return a text at the wheel, break a traffic light, or neglect the speed limit. Fortunately for Trinidad and Tobago, the statistics are not as grim as the global outlook. In fact, our nation has seen a steady decline in the occurrences of road traffic accidents, with 2018 showing the lowest statistics for road traffic deaths since 1958. This is indeed an amazing accomplishment, created by the introduction of legislation and policies, along with the cooperation of the traveling public for improved road culture. Furthermore, for the year 2020, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the TTPS, has recorded a 26% decline in road traffic deaths and a 23% decrease in road traffic accidents. These statistics are indeed encouraging because they show that the majority of us are on the right track to making the road across the nation a safer space in which to navigate. Nevertheless, we must not grow complacent. And on this special day of awareness, I need to remind you that our society has a considerable distance to travel in order to accomplish our goals of zero road traffic accidents. Since May of this year, when the Ministry of Works and Transport operationalized the demerit system, statistics for the following violation have been recorded. 8,075 seatbelt tickets have been issued. 7,511 breaches for traffic signals have been recorded, and 4,348 speeding tickets have been issued. The numbers don't lie. They tell the tale of road users who disregard their own safety and the safety of others. The people's responsibility for these violations behaves as if an accident cannot happen to them. They violate traffic laws as if oblivious to the fact that in the blink of an eye, their fate, the fate of other passengers, and even that of unsuspected bystanders, victims can be seriously or fatally injured because of their recklessness. We need to be more careful on the roads of TNT simply because one death is one too many. So let us commit to being more thoughtful and vigilant. In the context of road safety, the Ministry of Works and Transport is continuously reviewing the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Act to create further policies and legislation amendment to continue evolving our road network to make it safer for all travelers. In the near future, the Ministry will introduce new laws regarding the tinting of vehicle windows as well as a red light camera enforcement system to capture drivers that violate red lights is well on its way to being operationalized. As I end, I take this opportunity to thank Ms. Sharon Inglefield and her amazing team at Arrive Alive for keeping the momentum going in their noble and much needed effort to achieve safer road behavior in Trinidad and Tobago. Although I missed the annual walkathon and fair, I am pleased that we can still raise awareness in 2020. I also offer my gratitude to BHP for their unwavering financial support through the years. As well, I praise the work of TTPS, all traffic enforcement officers, first responders, and all the administrators who work behind the scene to improve the system to help more drivers, pedestrians, and other travelers arrive alive, thereby keeping families and other important relationships intact. On this World Day of Remembrance for road traffic victims, let us rise to the challenge to remember, act, and support for safer roads across Trinidad and Tobago. May God bless our nation, and thank you.
It's now time for our final pillar, act. It's a very important one, everybody. We are asking all drivers out there, please act responsibly on the roads so you can return home safely to your loved ones. It's now my pleasure to introduce three-time Soca Monarch champion, role model, and Soca superstar, Voice, to share his story and message on how we should act to create a safer road experience across TNT.
Oh Lord, I said this is the year for love. For love. Yo! Arrive alive, when you sing with me. Tell me what they're fighting for. So what they're killing for now. So we don't need no more now. Tell them wicked people, fire go Monday. Fire go Monday. Whoa, oh Lord, I said this is the year for love. Fire go Monday. Fire go Monday. Whoa, say little boy when gonna talk. Another one just gone. Why you beat your chest and smile? Say you is a madman. Another young boy fall. You sold the rest that night. Oh, you is a bad man. Bad man is a man who just defend woman and protect the young ones by any means, Lord. Yeah, you a bad man, boy, now. Yeah, you a bad man. Harry Badman just make his own decisions. He don't need anyone, he only needs God. If you agree with me, hands in the air, must see. Tell them, sit down, rock back. Tell them I don't need no shot to defend my people from wicked and evil. Whoa! Alive, alive, hands in the sky, hands in the air, hands in the air. We are with me. If you distrust my people, then fire go Monday. Fire go Monday. Oh Lord, hey, hey. The fire go Monday, fire go Monday. Whoa, say little boy you ain't bad at all. Whoa, tell me what they're fighting for. Wow, so what they killing for? Oh, so we don't need no more, no. So what they're fighting for? Alright, alive. Everybody just rock from side to side, rock from side to side. Rock so, rock so, rock so, rock so. He ain't no bad man boy nah. You ain't no bad man. I say if you believe in love and life, if you believe in unity and strength, Arrive Alive, put your hands in the air right now. 1, 2, start to jump up. Sit down, rock back. Tell them I don't need no strap to defend my people. I'm wicked and evil. If you know the chorus, sing it out. Sing it out. I want to hear you. I want to hear you. 1, 2. If you distress my people, then fire go. Fire go on them. Well, Lord, I said this is the year for love. I said fire go on them. Fire go on them. Whoa. So little boy, you ain't got at all. Whoa. Tell me what they're fighting for. So what they killing for. Oh, 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 oh. Tell me what they're fighting for. So what they killing for. Yeah, yeah. Arrive Alive. This is the year for love. 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 Yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey yo, TNT. Remember to be road safe. Our families are dependent on us to reach home safely. Much blessings to Arrive Alive and all their efforts thus far. Your Shirley voice, saying blessings.
As we come to the end of this year's event, we want to say thank you to all the families, partners, sponsors, and thank you to our advocates, celebrity influencers, and of course you, the viewers, for joining us. Remember to stay safe, wear your mask, and always be mindful when using the nation's roads. Don't drink, use drugs, or drive while tired. And remember to always arrive alive.